In this video, I'm checking out the brand new TTArtisan 17mm F1.4, which is a manual lens for Sony APS-C E-mount. Now, if you have watched this channel for any length of time, you know that between 7Artisans and TTArtisan, they make my favorite cheap budget manual focused lenses. So I'm expecting good things from this one. Let's start by seeing how this thing comes packaged. It comes in a small silver box with an outline of the lens on the outside. Inside there is a user manual, some nice padding, and the lens itself. The lens is a small one and it has this unusual shape. However, it feels nicely built and it is made out of all metal and glass. It comes with a plastic rear lens cap and a screw-on metal front lens cap. Taking a closer look at this lens, the rear is all metal, no electronic connections because it is all manual. No rubber gasket or fancy stuff back here. At the very edge, there is a grip that looks like it should rotate an aperture control, but it is just a nice grip to use to mount the lens to a camera. In front of that is a focus ring, which takes up about 70% of the body profile. There is a focal distance scale here, a small grip, and a drawing of this lens's lens elements. There are 9 elements in 8 groups, and you can count them all in this drawing if you like. On the other side, there is a TTArtisan's logo. The focus ring rotates very smoothly, great dampening, good weight. Rotation is about 45 degrees, which is adequate since this is a wide angle lens. In front of the focus ring is the aperture ring, which has clicks, very nice sounding ones at that. They click at every half interval between the numbers. I wish there was a little bit more resistance to the rotation here, but because the aperture ring is so small and the focus ring is so large in comparison, I never accidentally bumped the aperture ring while out shooting. Finally, around the front, you get a very compact, convex front lens element. It's hard to believe that this is an f1.4 lens. There is a ton of writing on the front. TTArtisan, a super long serial number, DJ Optical dropping another hit, and 17mm 1.4 with a 40.5mm filter thread. They almost ran out of space here. Mounted on my A6400, it looks nice, albeit a little strange because of the shape. The color matches up nicely and it feels good in the hand. The focus ring is very nice to use. The most annoying part about it is because this lens has some weight, when you put the camera down on a flat surface, it just flops down at a weird angle. So this lens is nicely built and very inexpensive. But how does it perform? I took it out with my A6100, took a number of samples with it, and I was quite surprised with the results. I was expecting far, far worse. Remarkably, in the center, wide open, this lens is pretty dang sharp. Not Sigma levels of sharpness, but good sharpness nonetheless. The key here is the center of the frame. The corners at f1.4 are pretty terrible. Even stopped down to f4, the corners look better, but not great. At f8, finally, you get some usable corners. But again, in the center, even wide open, the results are good. This is a budget Sigma 16mm f1.4 with no autofocus and worse performance, but it is still usable. Even for video, I think that this lens would be an easy one to vlog with, and because your face will be in the center of the frame most of the time anyway, it will be nice and sharp as well. The TTArtisan produces colors that are not bad. They look a little bit washed out in some samples, but nothing a few tweaks in Lightroom can't address. For portraits, it is definitely usable, even though it is a wide field of view. One of the cool things about this lens is that it has a minimum focusing distance of about 20 centimeters. This means that you can get nice and close to flowers and get this dramatic wide angle look with some decent bokeh as well. Speaking of bokeh, it isn't bad, surprisingly good for a wide angle lens. Distortion control is average, however. The lens suffers from massive amounts of chromatic aberration, especially wide open at f1.4. In the center, in the corners, even in places you wouldn't expect, there is chromatic aberration. Barrel distortion, on the other hand, isn't bad. It is noticeable, but barely. Same story with vignetting, it's there, but it's not bad. Flaring, however, is also another Achilles heel. It is crazy big, and I'm sure some of you out there love it. However, given all of these issues, using this little lens was a blast. It was very easy to focus because a toddler can focus a wide angle. And since my favorite lens is the Sigma 16mm, this 17mm field of view felt nice and familiar. This is a cool little lens, fast aperture, nice field of view, and a good overall build. It's just nowhere near the levels of performance you get from that Sigma 16mm f1.4. But the Sigma 16mm f1.4 that I recommend in almost every single video that I make is about $400 brand new. The TTArtisan is direct from them at least $118, which is significantly less money. So if you can live with the soft corners, wide open, and even stop down to about f4, if you're okay with the chromatic aberration, if you don't really care much about the flaring, and you're okay with manual focus and the somewhat not so vibrant colors, you can save $282 and pick up this little lens and use it just like you would the Sigma. All jokes aside, this lens has some issues and some quirks and some flaws, but almost every other lens out on the market also has a few of those as well. Overall, if you look at the package, if you look at the value that you're getting for around $100, it's a good little lens. It's a lot of fun to shoot with, and if you can live with the compromises, it's not a bad budget option. Not gonna recommend it for everyone. I think if you can afford it, definitely go for the Sigma. I'll say that again and again and again. So that is going to be it for my review of the TTArtisan's 17mm f1.4. I hope you guys learned something from it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As usual, if you are interested in purchasing this lens or getting pricing or reading more specs, check out the links down in the description below. Thank you so much for all of your comments, all of your likes, and your support. Stay tuned for more, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.